Welcome to the Stretch to Go podcast. My name is Ian Ray, your host, and I have a guest all the way from Stuttgart, Germany. Her name is Melanie Heilemann, and she is a FST level 4 now. Probably one of the only level 4 FST through the Stretch to Win Institute in Germany. Melanie, welcome to the Stretch to Go podcast.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Yes. So I would love for the audience to find out, learn more about who you are, what you do, and then, of course, how you got involved with or into fascia stretch therapy. So go ahead.
Yeah. So first of all, thank you so much for being your guest today. I am a personal trainer in Stuttgart, located in Stuttgart, and I started my career as a trainer back in 2014, like 11 years ago after finishing my university. So I have my diploma in sports science, but I decided not to sit in an office and work there. So I just want to work with people, and this is the most important thing for me, to help them becoming a better person, like, or training them, like doing the squats, the push-ups. So first of all, I trained so many people in functional fitness back then in 2015, and I got certifications in Michael Boy's strength and conditioning, Lee Taft speed agility coach, and Martin Rooney training for warriors. Oh yes, that was a very motivational certification I joined. And then I worked as a trainer, and I felt like, even in a functional area where I train many athletes, but then I decided to go more on one-on-one personal training. And I reached my limit on just teaching them how to squat. I mean, you get all the corrective exercises, and you know what to do when you, I don't know, when your knee collapsing in, then you know the corrective exercise. But I was not satisfied with that. And then just I just read about articles of Chris and Anne, but this was just like about mobility and how I can improve myself. And then I I yeah, I just try to put their knowledge from this article I read into my PT sessions. And then once a client called me and said, Melly, I was in the US and I had it's called stretch to fascia, stretch to, what is that? I forgot the name. I said, is it stretch to win? I said, he said, yes. And I said, oh my gosh, I knew Chris and Anne before. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I have to just check the website again. And I just have to register, and I just have to go with this fascia part. And then I was very curious and very excited for becoming also a fascia stretch practitioner.
Wow. That's a journey, though. I mean, finding through, was it this mobility work? Was it like online or like actual articles, like physical art, like a book that you were reading and learning about them?
Yeah, I was sharing this with a colleague because he was reading also these kind of articles. And when we found articles, we sent those each other and back and forth. And I just read this, just try this, and just try to improve. And because this client told me, Melly, when with this hands-on stuff, you are very good in that. So just go and work with the hands-on, and not only using the verbal part where you have to sit down and do this and put your leg up here. And but you are very good in, you have even though the colleagues in Canada, they told me, oh, you have touchy hands. So this is how I just try to improve myself with the fascia work, which Chris and Anne are doing.
Okay, that's awesome. So I guess for you, you heard about Stretch to Win through those articles, your client told you, and then did you have any hesitancy at all as far as like enroll into the course?
No, that was just like the only, when I hesitated was, or just praying that I got my flight, I find the hotel, and I then got the way to this room, and I know I step in, I know I'm fine. So this was the only thing I was worried about. But I did not hesitate once, because I know I did level 1 and 2 at the Stretch to Win crew in Canada, in Toronto.
Mhm.
And this was one of the best decisions. I always tell people this was one of the best educations, or how you say, certifications I joined. It was so good, and I was like so grateful to have this professional crew around me that helped me become a better practitioner, even become a better trainer, and just to mix everything together. I'm very happy for that journey.
Yeah. So you've taken many certification courses. I think to you personally, what makes it so special and that's worth your time and money into this certification? What makes to you so special?
When clients, so this is I guess I forgot to tell you, or I did not answer. I work with clients. My youngest athlete is 11 and my oldest client is 84 or 83. So, and I also work with professional athletes in especially table tennis, but there are also different sports I work with. But I also like when I work with those professional athletes, sometimes I train them for half an hour and then they just hop on my table and then I stretch them for half an hour. And this is the same I do with my regular people. They come for personal training because sometimes they are super stressed. And then I would be a very bad trainer to let them do more push-ups and more squats because their stress level is super high. I can do then, and this is what I tell them, just you can do your squats at home and you feel better. You can do your push-ups at home. But let me do the work on the fascia work on you directly because then I can reduce your stress level. I can make you even more mobile, like that you can move better. So for me, this is the best part I can offer to people who just want personal training, but that they say, yeah, come to my treatment room. I show you what I am doing. And then you can decide sometimes when you say, Melly, I'm super stressed. Can we just do a stretch? Yes, for sure. So this is like my benefit I have that I can do also treatments on my clients. If I do
Yeah.
not work online. I mean online is out. I cannot do it.
Just curious, what year was this when you took your level one? Do you remember?
The year 2018.
Okay. So about 7 years now you've been doing FSD, right? Almost. Yeah. Wow. That's awesome. So for you, who are the typical demographics? I know you mentioned like the age group of 11 to 84, but like you said, table tennis, the athletes. Do you attract mostly athletic population, active individuals? You invite anyone and everyone.
There's everyone and anyone. Like
Mm-hmm.
as I said, I work also online and sometimes it happens that no, I have like regular office worker, I have also doctors I train. I have like everyone and those professional athletes, they are just a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to work with everyone because you have to look at those individually. And before I got pregnant and before I had my little baby, I was even more mobile. Like I could travel more, even to those competitions they had, and I can also put some hands on there. But this is something I cannot do right now. So my time is even more value, and yeah, I only can work with a few. So this the sports part is even less right now, but it's more the regular people who come and join and just need a personal training or even an FST.
Yeah. Typically, I guess, what do you typically treat? Upper back, tightness of shoulders, hips. I mean, what do you see from the time that you've done FSD? What do people are coming in with? Tightness, restrictions.
You learn in level 4 even more assessments. So you are full with assessments you can give. But when you assess 60 minutes, everything is the time is over. But it's very like listen to the client and then you see with the posture. You see the posture. There's always the shoulders collapsing forward or
Mm-hmm.
they do not stand 50-50 on their feet. So there's always the hip stuff going on. There's always the feet going on. And you learn in level 3 so much more about feet in FST. So Chris is very into footwork. And this, and he's
Uh-huh.
right, the foot is so important. And I always start with the foot. I just check the foot. And then I go through the parts. And then the hip for sure is very important because, the hip is the center. And then everything is coming down to the hip and up to the hip. And
Yes.
then I have also so many, they want just the neck because they want to relax at the end of the session. So it depends on the person and it depends on if it's just an FST or is it a mix like between personal training and FST.
FSD. Okay. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited now. Now you talked about the foot. Not like I have a foot fetish, but like I'm so intricate. I'm so interested in the foot because like that is the foundation of all humans, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you look at it and you got to go up the kinetic chain. So like now that got me excited because I've got into barefoot shoes, barefoot strength type, you know, within the past 2 years, and so that's changed my perspective of how I look at the body because I think it's overlooked, you know. And so, yeah, I mean, every day I'm treating clients and I'm looking at their horrible hammer toes, if they have bunions, if they have like, you know, collapsed arches, or if they have even like they can't supinate or they just have tight calves. So I always am like, oh my gosh, there's so many people with horrible feet. And so I think that's exciting. There's a lot of stuff I want to learn level 3. Moving on.
But, like I do when they do a squat and they just lift their toes, just do a little treatment on the foot that they just get connected with their brain to, I would say, the fascia, like that they just know how to put the feet on the ground and that they stay on the ground. And this is with all these corrective exercises you learn from the functional part is not enough. You still stay I still was standing there struggling on how can they just get connected to their big toe because it's always moving. And, this is like to get, the fascia is so, how do you say, so important. Crucial. Is it crucial? Yeah, crucial, I
Yes,
guess.
I would agree. Crucial. Yes. So when you're explaining to clients what you do as a fascia stretch therapist on the side, how do you explain to your clients what fascia is so that they understand themselves?
This is a good question. It's always like finding the right words. So I say the fascia is always like a connective tissue. It's the connective tissue that holds the body together. And I describe it sometimes as when you have a spider net, for example. You have the spider net and you just pull on one part on the spider net. So everything shifts to this direction
Mm-hmm.
and it's distorted, you say, I guess. So everything is like not on the right place. So this can cause you pain. And sometimes you have this pain on the diagonal side. So this is why fascia is so important and sometimes very painful when you do not treat the fascia in the right way. So this is when my part hops in and I just try and figure out which part is distorted. So I just try to have this part to release a little. So I just want, you cannot, even when you destroy a spider net, you cannot go back. But in the fascia world, you can try and push this spider net back into original position. And this is what fascia is like. Everything is connected. And when you pull on one side, you just distort the whole net, and this can cause you pain. And this is why you sometimes don't know where the pain is coming from because you cannot see it on the CT, like MRI, that is the fascia. So then they are asking, what is going on? Why do I have pain? And this is how I describe it, that you cannot see it on a picture. You just have to know what fascia is. And like the spider net is always a good
Analogy.
for I describe it in a way like, look, you have a piece of meat. Just look at the piece of meat and everything that is white, this is fascia. And they say, yeah, this is the big white part, like on top. And then you see also inside, everything is white. Yes, this is also fascia. This is the muscle fiber, like the muscle fascia. And then they understand more, but they cannot get it because it's still like weird when they come for the first time.
Yeah,
And they
those
feel
are great. Those are great, definitely metaphors for people to understand, you know, so that it's simple and they know for a fact they've seen it before. Going back to the Stretch to Win course, what would you say to that one person who's on the fence about enrolling in the course? Because I know there's going to be a lot of people who are interested in becoming FST practitioners, but like I said, they probably are coming from different countries, different places, but you know, they're on the hesitancy about enrolling. What would you tell them?
just do it because there is no better course than FST for me, I guess, to learn about the fascia. And the thing that makes it so special is the way the teachers are educated and how you learn about fascia. And the way Chris and Anne created everything is like so I did not even look left and right because I know there's so much going on. And I before I got to my first course, I have a trainer here, and I booked a session, and I don't know where she is right now, but I just felt it on me. And then how can I describe it? Like, everybody wants to copy something, but just go back to the original one, and you cannot get the spirit from Christianity. So when I teach client, or when I treat them, I always feel like Anne around me, like, like, she's go back to Germany and do the work. Do the work. Just do it and tell about FST. Yeah, you're totally right. And I still hear the teachers telling me, live, fall, fan. So the way they do everything is like, just invest this money and do it, because yeah, it's the best education you can get.
Yeah. That's awesome. I will definitely take my level 3 and 4 in Canada. I mean, in US, even though I'm in the US. So
Yeah.
I guess for you, what would you, how do you offer FST to your clients? I mean, is it part of their care, is part of, PT clients, or do they seek FST? I mean, how do you typically get your clients to, get on the table to get a session?
Usually they find me through my website. You say this? Yeah. So, and then sometimes they're only into fascia work, because fascia in Germany is also very known. And sometimes they know about, when it comes to fascia, and they had a treatment before and it was very painful, because some, like, fascia therapists, they just go deep into it and it's very painful. So, and they don't understand that this stretch fascia, like FST, is for relaxing. You go deep into the fascia net, but it's not painful. And this is what they first don't understand. And when they come for personal training and I tell them about FST, and then I just give them a little 10-minute treatment, then they say, oh my gosh, that was so good. I hover out of your room. Like, this is how I offer. Like, they found me through the website, and then I just give them all my knowledge about being a personal trainer and, like, being an FST practitioner. Yeah. And then they decide, like, as I said, and then go and do your sit-ups and do your core work, or and let me do the fashion work on you, because this is like where I can just, yeah.
So switching gears, as far as your business, I know you mentioned like you're a personal trainer, you do online coaching, one-on-one, but what's your long-term goal for your business? What do you foresee to happen? Like, do you continue to do online coaching, work on one-on-one? Do you want to hire new, FST people or personal trainers? What's your long-term goal?
I like to do the work. I mean, I'm already in Germany. I'm a teacher, and I also work. Like, sometimes I run also workshops when it comes to health. Like, it's not only like the person trainer part, but for me, an FST is like, yeah, I love to do this fascia work. This is it, period. Like, when it comes to my business, yeah, this is what I love to do. I just love to help people to get rid of their pain, or to just move better and feel better. And for long term, I just want to continue doing it as good as I can. And I do my best, and I do it with my all my love and with my heart. And yeah, this is how I just want to become a better practitioner day by day.
And then as far as the marketing and, like, getting yourself out there in the community, or even in Germany, what marketing and like sales strategies have helped you in growing your business?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, it comes through my website, but I know that, like, it's not me, like, there's so many other German, I would say, physical therapists who would love to join the course, because some call me, hey Melly, I would love to do that. Can you just, like, offer, like, courses? I say, no, I can't. This is not, like, it doesn't feel right.
Mm-hmm.
I know there are opportunities, because some of them, they cannot speak English, and then they will never join this course, and they will never get the technique. And yeah, this is it. So yeah, maybe in future, if there is the opportunity to just teach the German version of FST, I would be in. But I'm not motivated to just create my own stuff and sell it like my own my name. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I know that there are so many German people, trainer, practitioner, physios who would love to know the technique, but they can't because of language.
And how do you see fascia stretch therapy evolving in the future? Do you see FST being more well known in Germany or all over Europe?
I would love to. Yeah, I see that, and I would love to just do more on that for sure. This is it's such a great technique, and when you know also that you know even in the on a it doesn't matter if you have the professional athlete or if you have just regular people who do their office work, they all need it. Even we as the practitioners, you know, the first thing I said, I would love to get stretched, so let me just hop on the table and can someone do the butterfly for me, please? Like I was missing this. I have no one around me who can do it. So
Yeah.
yeah, for sure, it would be so good to have more practitioners around, like everywhere.
I guess curious, who do you know any practitioners like in Germany or like who is the closest person that you know of?
I know there's one in Stuttgart too who got level 1, but this person I did my first session with back in 2018. I don't know where she moved because she left Stuttgart and she has her own, she's a healthcare practitioner and I have no contact to her. But when you just look at the find a practitioner part side,
Uh-huh.
they are far away. You will not go 4 hours to see the practitioner. You will not do
Yeah.
that. There are just a few.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, definitely there's a lot more work to be done in Germany, that means. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And then for you, my last question is how did you grow your business from the time that you started in 2000? I mean, since the time you started personal training, right? And you've been doing it for 11 years. How did you continue to, basically grow it as far as finding new clients and, make this a living?
That's a good question. It was 2018, and at the end of 2018, I decided to quit my job and become a full-time self-employed personal trainer. You can say that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then 1 year later, I guess everybody know 1 year later, yes, there was the pandemic starting. So after 1 year of being a full-time self-employed personal trainer, this whole started. So
Uh-huh.
this is how I become also an online trainer. But with my heart and my soul, I couldn't stop of doing the fascia work, like for sure. I tried to balance everything out because you have the restriction and you couldn't do the work as you wanted. And this is how I just built up more my online business, because this was the most important part on how I can survive in my business, because everybody was doing online stuff. And by then I was happy to have this certification of Boyle and Co. to continue my work as a personal trainer online. Because if you would have asked me before the pandemic if I would ever teach online, I would have said for sure no, because I have to be with you as a trainer, which makes no sense because right now I understand how important it is to teach online as well. It's a great
Mm-hmm.
opportunity. How I built my business even more, and then I went back to the fascia work again, and this is how I just balance everything out. Like, yeah, so this 2020 2021 time was real shit where I just have everybody struggled.
Yeah.
And right now I had like, and I got pregnant, and then I just tried to balance everything out. Sometimes I ask myself, how the hell am I doing that? But I cannot even give you a proper answer because I just go with the energy and I go with the flow and I make it. I make it. I don't know, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Today I cannot work as much as I did before, because right now it's time to pick my little one from the daycare, and then I have baby business and there
Mm-hmm.
is no time for another training. That's why it's hard. But
Yeah, for sure.
I complain, you know what I mean? It's
Yes.
not me.
Well, yeah, I think the balance is definitely the key on being, self-employed, just using your time wisely. I understand that. It's great that you have the online so you can reach more people outside of Germany or, elsewhere. So, looking forward to seeing your business grow and, of course, seeing FST level 4 for your clients, and hopefully they can get more results. I love for the audience to find a way that they can contact you, book a session, learn more about what you're doing. So if you want to, feel free to share with your information as far as like social media handle, email, website, and then of course your location. So feel free to go ahead and share it with the audience.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram on my name, Melanie Heilemann. And if you see that logo, like this is my logo, so then you know you're right. And I have a profile photo with my hairs open. So this is how you find me on Instagram, on TikTok. My website is my name.de, Melanie. You find me also in Stuttgart because I know that we have a base here. So sometimes I have also US people from the base who join me here in Stuttgart because then they know FST already. So this is if someone is seeing that, yeah. And if you are in Germany, you are highly welcome because level 4 is not level 1. And I was even like find like level 1 was already like so cool, and level 4 is like mind blowing, and I just love the fascia work. So this is finding me through my website. Just contact me. You find my phone number, my email. I am available on all these social media stuff, and yeah, then you can book a session.
Awesome. Thank you so much for hopping on the podcast and for I learned a lot as far as what you're doing, your journey. I think it's incredible for people to learn more about who you are, why you're doing it, and of course, the type of work and that you're doing. So thank you again, Melanie.
Thank you so much.
Yes. And for those of you who are looking to learn more about how to become a FSC practitioner, you can go to stretchtowin.com. From Chris and Ann Frederick, if you're in the US or if you're in Canada, the Stretch to Win Canada team, great people. You can find a practitioner near you, like Melanie mentioned, to get contact and learn more about what this FSC is, or you can become one to add this into your toolkit if you're a personal trainer, physical therapist, chiro, massage therapist. There's so many different people from backgrounds learning about this, about the fascia work. So you can use that. And everything as far as the notes, details will be there for people to contact you, Melanie, and as well as for those who are wanting to learn about FSC practitioner. There's links there to save you $200 off your level 1. So thank you once again. Looking forward to it, and we'll keep in touch, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.